Hello, Nick here. And it's President's Day, so off work and sitting around the house and just playing with a bunch of radios, having a really good time. So I decided to fire up a couple that I haven't fired up in a really long time. These two over here. So we got a Racal 6790 and we've got a Harris 505A. Now, this one was made around 1970. So it's over 50 years old. And I have no idea the history or background. Don't know if it's been tuned up, worked on, anything at all. I couldn't tell you. I can tell you it works. I mean, I love it. It's probably, until I got my 9500, this might have been my favorite radio. And it's not my best radio. It's just, I just enjoy it. I just like the switches and controls. I like the fact that it's got the 2 meters and both meters are dual function and you can make one light up or the other light up. I mean, everything about it, it's just really, really cool. And it works very well. But one thing I did find out by messing with it is the CW mode apparently doesn't work. All right, so I would find strong CW signals anywhere across the HF spectrum, and then I put this thing on CW and nothing would come out. So I got to tune CW, or I got to listen to CW through either USB or LSB. And we'll see how that works out. But the LSB, the sideband and the AM work very, very nice. The thing is, this is kind of like one of those military radios where you set it, you just turn the decade switch to the frequency you want and basically adjust the volume, and that's it. There's really no other control. There's no bandwidth to select. You know, there's no sync. There's no noise. Nothing. Okay. There is a pre-selector you can fool around with, but unless you're really getting signal bleed in from something that you don't want, you really don't even need the pre-selector. So anyway, and then this 6790, I think they used those in the 1980s and 1990s, maybe. The military used them. And again, that's another one of those kind of set it and forget it radios. I mean, although this one does have a BFO that you can adjust, it does have a very, very intricate AGC system where if you're knowledgeable and patient, you can play with that and you can make signals pop. And that one has actually been repaired by Gary Wingard on the East Coast. So that radio works very nice. And I've got my Racal turned on over there, so if I get a bug up my butt, maybe we'll listen to something on that. But you all have seen that. I'm sorry, that's not a Racal, that's a Rodian Schwartz. So maybe we'll turn that on. But anyway, the Racal doesn't have a speaker, so I've got hooked up to that speaker. It's hardwired from the back. This radio has its own internal speaker, and it's got very nice audio, the Harris does. So I do not have an external speaker hooked up to that. Anyway, let's get in here, down in the nitty gritty, and see which way the wind is blowing. So we've got it set on that beacon I'm always chasing, 2820907. So I don't know if you can see it here. So we've got mode, AGC. If I'm in manual, it will say manual. Long means slow. Short means fast. Can you read the bandwidth? It says 0.4. That's BW2. Oh, that's BW1. BW2 is 1.1. Just lets in a little more noise. Okay. And I've got the BFO set at 0.7. So maybe some people call it 700 or 0.7, whatever. And before I turned the camera on, I tried to match the tone to this radio. So I'm going to shut up and let you listen. A little higher tone. The only way to adjust this is by frequency. I got them both run. Okay. Sounds about the same tone. 28209.7, not 07. Then again, I'm on LSB. Okay. So you got to, because LSB only picks up the carrier on one side, CW, I think, picks up a center carrier, I think, okay? And that's why you got to tune off in order to use sideband to bring in a CW signal. Anyway, we're listening to this radio. Darn, sounds pretty darn good to me, considering I don't even know what the bandwidth filter is, and I couldn't change it even if I did. If you're interested in this radio, I've got a nice long video just on this radio if you go back in my library. We're on signal strength, audio line level. You can hear a little bleed in. It's a little after 3 p.m. Central Time. So there must be some ham stuff going on. Some hams are trying to rain on my parade by breaking into the background there. I'm sure the bandwidth on, because remember, we're on SSB, so the bandwidth is probably 3 kilohertz, which is really wide to be listening to an SSB signal, okay? This one has, it says 400. It's probably slightly less. It might be 300. I've already told you before when I've done videos on this, the manual actually says the display on this can be up to 25% off of the actual value of the bandwidth filter. Anyway, this sounds real nice. All right, listen, I'm not going to move the camera. This is the roadie on the left. Set to 7.7 BFO. Don't mess with a roadie in Schwartz. Okay. Let's tune something else. Since it's 3 p.m., let's try that Maritime net. So to tune this, you got to hit enter first. So enter 14300. And then you got to hit USB. Then you got to pick the filter you want. Oh, there's only, on sideband, you can't pick the filter. There's only one filter. I don't know what it is, but there's only one. Yeah, it sounds like it's a little off. All right, let's put this one down to 14300. 0, 0, 0, upper sideband. Notice how this light lit up. Because if you can read this here, it says USB AM, LSB CW. Oh, this thing's struggling today. I don't know. Maybe I don't. Let's try something. No, it's on frequency. Oh, I am on AGC fast. Let's put it on. See how that AGC makes a big difference. Much better.
Let's go ahead and look them out for, in fact, let's give an extended look. Any maritime mobile sample coming out of it.
Roadie. Yeah, I guess 3 o'clock in the afternoon is really tough for, what is this, 20 meters? Let's go down to 40 meters and see if there's any action there. So enter 07-26800 LSB.
Yeah, we're supposed to have snow accumulating possibly some real big snow, so we don't know. I've got one appointment at least that I told my wife I'm going to change because I don't want to be driving around with all the people that need to go someplace when we get I don't know when we're going to get, we'll see, but I don't want to be driving around with some of those guys are on the road. You just don't want to be out there all the time. I can change things. It's not a big deal. Anyway, like I say, it doesn't. You're pretty warm too, but 34 surprised me.
Roadie. Harris. Let's try to pre-select them. Peak the meter. That might have made a little difference. Turn it off. Maybe.
Somebody brought it up. I didn't. But anyway, back to
Yeah, Doug brought that up. I saw his name up there. He's the one that brought it up. And well, you guys are working on there.
All right. This Harris is representing very, very well. Let's see here. Let's try some AM signals. No, let's see here. I think there was something at 12:050 AM.
Ni la mente humana imaginó las cosas que Dios tiene preparadas para los que le aman. ¿Amén? Pero estas cosas te pueden ayudar. Otra cosa, fíjate cómo los encargados de la boda, los que planean, acuérdate, si esta boda son esto es una fiesta, esto es una liturgia lo que se está dando aquí, ¿verdad? Pero los encargados, los más que mandan, no
Internal
sabían
speaker
de
here.
dónde venía el vino. No sabían. Se maravillaron. Dijeron, wow. Usualmente la gente reparte primero el vino bueno y después cuando la gente está, mire, cuando están borrachos ya todo el mundo, que no, ahí es que reparten el vino malo y ya la gente tiene la lengua encendida, ya no saben ni lo que se están tomando. Sin embargo, tú has dejado el vino bueno para el final. Y los encargados, los que estaban arriba, no sabían de dónde venía el vino. ¿Sabes quién está bien?
All right, so there's something going on with this speaker up here. It's not working right.
Los servidores.
Turn it off.
Aquellos que habían escuchado
Listen to
la
that.
voz de María. Cuando les dijo, lo que él les diga. Eso sí sabía.
Bose speaker.
Yo quiero que tú seas uno de los que sabe que cuando
Let's
estas
go back to that
cosas ocurran,
14272
tú sepas
just
de
for
dónde viene
giggles.
este vino nuevo, porque viene.
No, it was 7272, I think. Yeah, 72, sorry.
At the time, I knew that was probably you, which is fine. I'm good either way.
Yeah. Sound a little better. Okay, so we were at 12050.
Pero el Señor
12:50.
viene, el Señor va a levantar a los pequeños, el Señor va a levantar a su pueblo, el Señor va a, dice la palabra, voy a recoger a los que están esparcidos. La gente dice, ay, pero es que hay división en la iglesia, pero si la Biblia te lo dice, que cuando el Señor venga...
$12.095 is a pretty weak signal, as you can hear. This filter's a little too small. ISB, they both light up because both sidebands are lit and I select them here. I put this on USB. AM, obviously. This one's getting its ass kicked. I'm gonna have to call Gary Wingard and say, "What up, dude?" Rhodey. It's about the same. Yeah, there's not really much difference. Sorry, Gary. I was jumping on you for nothing. Well, a lot of it could have to do with the filters. So it indicates 8.4, which, if it's accurate, but I know it's not. If it was accurate, that would be too large for this signal. This signal needs like a 5 kilohertz, maybe 4.5, because it's weak. All right, 6 max. I think if I remember this, when I first bought this several years ago, I think this might have had a 6.8 or 7 kilohertz bandwidth. I guess I'd have to do the math to see if 8.4 was within 25% of that, but you know what? I don't fucking care. All right, not when I got a Harris 505 to play with. All right, let's go to I'm on the roadie. So 0, 0, 3, 40, 1, 0 AM. Pre-selector off. So I can hear it. Problem is, when you're on AM, you only have one filter choice, which is 6 kilohertz. So let's go over back to the roadie and listen to it at 6. Because the roadie is on 3 kilohertz. There's 6. See, you lose a lot. You get a lot more noise. The signal drops a little. Or I don't know if the signal's dropping, but it's not as easy to listen to. I'm going to back on 3. All right, so let's put this on USB. Listen to that. All right, so we're getting a lot of bleed through on the long wave, but that's very common around here. In fact, every one of my radios will do that at certain times of the day. I mean, even the best ones, WJs and ICOM 9500 too. So that's not uncommon. Oh, you know what? Let's try and pre-select that out. See if it helps. Oh, I can't pre-select that low. The pre-selector stops at like the 80 meter band, which would be just below 2 megahertz, if you can even read that over there. But all right, so let's listen to this one. AM 3.4 kilohertz, which I don't know if that's accurate again, and I don't know if it's how much lower, but I think it's lower. I think it's around 3. Roadie. Paris. All right, what else can we listen to? Let's see. We did sideband, we did CW, we did let's just try like a medium strong AM, broadcast signal on shortwave. So that would be like this time of day would be 12:050, I think. AM.
Sin embargo, cuando contamos las maravillas de Dios, pues mira, eso hace crecer la fe en el corazón de las personas que están escuchando, personas que se niegan a creer o personas que están lejos, mira, escuchan las manifestaciones de las cosas que Dios hace en medio de su pueblo, porque las sigue haciendo y nunca ha parado de hacerlas, ¿verdad? Es que a veces las noticias malas nos llegan sin cesar una y otra vez y no enfocamos nuestra atención hacia estas cosas que nos siguen ocurriendo. Desde Dallas, Texas, se comunica con nosotros la hermana Alicia.
They're doing something in Dallas, Texas.
Dios te bendiga, cuéntanos.
Muy buenas tardes, ¿cómo estás?
Todo bien, para servirte aquí. Alicia, un saludito para allá a toda mi gente linda de Dallas que nos escucha.
Something's going on
Gracias.
in Dallas.
Yo llamo porque quería
Always
pedir
is.
oración por mi hija. El Señor le aumente
Roadie.
su fe, esperanza y caridad.
Amén, bendito Dios. Esa será la lectura de la liturgia de hoy.
Creo, pero aumenta mi fe. Bueno, hermana Alicia, vamos a orar.
ISB.
Vamos a orar. Vamos a tomar una llamadita que tenemos aquí también antes. No te me retires, Alicia, vamos a orar ahora mismo. Nos llama desde San José, California, hermana Maritza. Muy buenas tardes, Maritza, Dios te bendiga, cuéntanos.
Sí, buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes, baja tu radio y escúchanos por el teléfono solamente para que no nos dé retroalimentación en la línea.
Estoy en el teléfono, no estoy en la radio porque estoy trabajando.
Ok. Pues, cuéntanos.
Sí, solamente así rapidito.
All right. We're at about 29 minutes, 28 and a half minutes. So, I don't know, I'll probably let y'all go there since there isn't a whole lot to listen to this time of the afternoon, or at least that I'm aware of. So, final thoughts. Roadie, bad hombre. These two are running about the same, except for the fact that CW's broken on this one. But I was able to get that CW, and that beacon is very weak. It won't even bounce an S meter, okay? And I was able to listen to it on this 55-year-old radio in USB. I'm like, whoa. Probably with a 3 kilohertz filter, okay? Unbelievable. And then, obviously, this one, I had it indicated 400 hertz. It's probably 300 hertz. That's like, why couldn't Racal get that right? Why couldn't they make the display match the filter? No one else has that problem. And as much as they charged for those radios back then, I don't understand that. And it says it right in the manual. Literally, it says it right in the manual. But the Racal's got some cool controls and it works well. And if you've got, the Racal, this radio is the most responsive, or I should say sensitive, maybe responsive, to the AGC as any other radio. You heard when I first turned it on, and then I changed it from fast to slow or whatever I did, slow to whatever I did, but you heard the significant difference. And then if you're trying to bring in a weak signal, you can put this thing on manual, and then you can tickle this IF control over here. And man, it's very sensitive, but it's very it produces it has a profound effect. Got to be patient though. Anyway, enough rambling. All right, thanks for hanging out.